Hello and welcome everyone this evening, broadcasting live out the UK. It's just gone 2 AM at the moment. I'm putting one out tonight on telling the truth. Can you believe it? Telling the truth or being a truther has been a bad thing for quite some time, and going to go into it a little bit of detail now because I think those of us that are switched on have got kind of a rough idea when this came about. Those of us that think telling the truth, being a truther is a bad thing, someone that goes out and does some research and reports what they find, if you think that's a bad thing, and maybe this show ain't for you, so let's get cracking.
You know, the word truth has actually become a derogatory term, often used in the mainstream media. In other news, trust in the mainstream media throughout the world, whether it's TV, print, online, radio, doesn't matter. 2018 in a Pew poll is yet again hitting new records on the low end. People trusting the mainstream media is at an all-time low. Depending on which side of the aisle you support, even lower than 20%, slightly higher for those on the left. And yet, the mainstream media have the gall, en masse, all nations, certainly the Western nations, to mock and ridicule so-called truthers. And conspiracy theorists, by the way. And do you know what happened? The conspiracy theorists turned out to be right 20, 30 times, too many in a row. And they had to rebrand them from conspiracy theorists, which was some crazy, wacky, makes no sense kind of idiot, to a truther, because they research and dig and find out the evidence and facts. They put two and two together, make four, and then present that. And that information and that role, that job, is what the mainstream media journalists should be doing. And instead they don't. They engage in identity politics, dividing the people, spreading lies and propaganda. There's no wonder that mainstream media ratings are at an all-time low. There's no wonder that the alternative media, that's mainly based online, is getting record views, so much so that they were rebranded from conspiracy theorists to truthers and then to Russian bots or agents of Putin. This is no surprise at all. The media is desperate, it's clutching at straws. Meanwhile, the so-called free and democratic governments and free speech and all that are doing everything they can to block these so-called fake news alternative media sites. The only problem is they can't point to any facts, because if they did, the facts would back these alternative media sites up. So they're just vague terms, fake news, alt-right, blah blah blah, and then say these places need to be shut down. Why do they need to be shut down? Well, fake news. And even if it was fake news, do you not think people are clever enough to figure it out on their own? You've got multi-billion-dollar industry and advertising and all the rest of it and all this fancy production, and you're honestly saying that despite all of that, your news medias cannot compete with some kid sitting in his parents' basement with a webcam. I'll tell you why you can't compete, because the kid's telling the truth. And many people, when they hear somebody telling the truth and speaking from the heart, it resonates. It doesn't feel like this fake, clinical bullshit that you lot put out. It feels real. That's right, it feels real. And they can't compete with real. And they certainly don't know what feel is.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that just a short clip tonight. You've been listening to Waking Circle. You can visit us over at wakencircle.com, making a start on the website over there. Please do subscribe to the Spreaker channel. There's also Waking Circle, goes by the same name on YouTube, currently with a big fat 0 subscribers. Again, this is all a bit new, but I'm trying to make a start because even a beginner got to start somewhere, and that somewhere is usually with 0. So I'd appreciate anybody that subscribes, leaving any positive feedback, even critical feedback, if you've got something more constructive to say than "you're a dick," please leave some feedback. I'd appreciate that very much. Anyway, take care, everybody. Treat others how you'd like people to treat yourself. And, oh yeah, I love you.